Ornamental grasses are a workhorse. It's important to cut your grasses back in the springtime because that clears out all this dead growth and makes way for the new early spring growth to shoot up. One of my favorite ornamental grasses is a dwarf maidenhair grass. That's what actually you see right here. This one is a young one that I planted last year. I'm going to take you through how to properly prepare them for the growing season. Some ornamental grasses in the fall, such as this miscanthus and little blue stem, can also provide fall color for you in the forms of like red and rust colors. But now is the time to get them ready for the growing season. It's really important that you cut them back in the early spring months before they start putting up green shoots. I like to use just my hand pruners. Some people like to use garden shears. I find that by using hand shears, it provides a little bit more control and it tends to make a little less of a mess. So the first thing you want to do is kind of find the base of the grass. We have not cleaned the leaves up in this flower bed yet, so just kind of pull those leaves away from the plant. Then you can see the base of the plant here. For most grasses, you can get away with cutting back into the 3 to 6 inch zone here. Some of your bigger grasses, like hardy pampas grass, you'll end up giving them a little bit more space, like maybe 6 inches back. The same thing with your lawn. You can cut your lawn grass too short, well, you can cut an ornamental grass too short. So just be mindful we're not shearing back into the grass too hard. So we're going to go ahead. This miscanthus grass here, we're going to cut back to about 3 inches. So what I like to do is just grab a handful and then just start cutting back. Make sure that your pruners are nice and sharp. Also, for most ornamental grasses, you'll want a good pair of gardening gloves. Dried grass blades can be actually really dry and sharp, and I've gotten many, many cuts from ornamental grasses. It's like a paper cut, but worse. We just keep making our way around, grabbing it, kind of like grabbing a handful of hair. And just kind of clean up the sides around. Now these grasses are young, so they're not going to have any dead growth out of it much. But you can then go through and kind of wiggle and loosen, and you want to just pull out any dead. If your grasses are well established, you might get some of the center growth that starts to die out. Just go ahead and kind of wiggle that loose and pull that dead grass out of the center. Okay, now that we've got this one done, I'm not to the point quite yet where I'm cleaning up my leaves out of my garden, so I'm just going to leave them there. Now we have another one here. We can go ahead and do the same thing to that one. And just again grabbing handfuls and just cutting straight through that. There we go. Now when I'm finished with that, I will go ahead and add all this dried debris here to the compost pile. And I'll give you another example over here on some blue avena grass or blue oak grass. You've got some beautiful dwarf little irises here blooming next to it, but I'll give you a little bit more closer of a view. Blue oak grass or blue avena grass is one of the grasses that starts to green up the first. There actually is some still or already some blue stems in here, but it's not too late to cut those back. So you just kind of, same as the other, you just kind of go around in a circle, giving it a good haircut back. There we go. This is also another young grass. Another one here I can show you. It's got quite a bit of blue on it too. There we go. Oh, we had a big snowstorm this last week and it took a lot of branches down in our yard. There you go. Those grasses are now all ready for the spring and ready to put out some new growth.